So for day 2, your background should be dry. You should have the color field design that's kind of abstract, and now you're going to add a line drawing element to it to finish your illustration. To do our line drawing today, we're going to be using permanent markers. We have to use permanent markers because regular markers would not stick to the surface of this varnish. It's waterproof, so it's kind of shiny. That's why we have to use permanent markers. So what you want to do is you want to get out your notebooks and you want to find a page where you can do what's called thumbnail sketches. Thumbnail sketches are just as they sound. They're small sketches, not quite as big as your thumbnail, but bigger, that you're going to do for a few practice rounds before you do your real thing. When you start to brainstorm what to draw and what to add to your background, think about some of the important things in your story. In my story about skiing, I have that my hat goes flying off, that my dog is running just directly in front of me, and I'm looking at my skis and my poles are sticking out in the air. So these are 4 things I could draw. I'm not sure that I'll draw all of them, but I may do a little bit of searching on Google Images right now to see if any of these would be easy to draw or cool for my design. Then I can start just trying to drawing simple versions of these things onto my notebook as practice. I'll try to draw my dog here. Usually when she's running, she has her tongue sticking way out like that. And she's like super happy. She's got these little spots above her eyes. Okay. So these are some things I could draw. I draw skis all the time and ski poles, so I'm pretty good at that. And you want to practice, you want to be able to do these without erasing too much, because with these permanent markers, you're not going to get any second chances. Once you have some ideas of things you could draw, you want to think about your composition. You want to add them to your background, and your background is fairly abstract. I'm not going to make mine very literal. I'm not going to make it like a person maybe right here skiing down with a dog in front. I'm just going to kind of put some of these elements together so that it's interesting, but so that it doesn't become a real literal scene. If you have a good eraser on your pencil, you can really lightly chart out some of your drawing with the pencil. And then if you screw up and if you have enough varnish on there, you should be able to erase your lines and start over. But I'm just going to kind of go right to this here, and I'm going to draw in some skis. I'm going to draw in maybe my dog's tail running down, and I'll show you guys what I get. So here's just a little bit of my thought process. I'm going to try to draw the skis and a skier heading, I'm not sure, uphill, downhill, just trying to look a little bit out of control. I'm adding a dog right in front of the skis, and the dog's kind of going off the page a little bit. And then I'm going to try to add a face onto the skier. I'm going to use my markers to draw in a few details in the background by the trees so that they become a teeny bit more defined. And then I'll also use my marker to draw a little bit of a horizon line where the snow ends and the tree begins. I'm not getting super detailed with it. I'm trying to still leave it slightly abstract, but trying to get an overall effect of an illustration with a lot of colors in the background. All right, school's over, guys. Have fun with this. Here's my finished product.
Oh, one more thing.
Don't forget to sign it in the bottom corner. Make your signature real little so that people can see it, but that it does not dominate your overall piece.